Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Dr. Bikwere Henry. I'm so excited today because of some of the things we'll be learning. Um, Information is power, but whenever you apply that information, systematically applying those information you've gotten, it tends to transform your whole life forever. One of my principal foundation is take action. Now, I'm a financial expert, a businessman, and a life coach. My aim is to bring to you specific valuable informations. You see the word specific valuable information. If properly applied, will change your whole life forever. All the value I'm bringing to you, all the informations I'm bringing to you are very specific. They are targeted towards solving a particular area of your life or solving a particular problem of your life. So that's just it. So this information will bring balance and success in your life. It will make you to become more wealthy and to be a successful man or woman. So it can make you rich, wealthy, and successful. So it will affect your finances, it will affect your relationship with yourself first, and your relationship with people around you, maybe your businesses, your family, your children, your business associates, your counterparts, your colleagues all over the world. This information will transform your whole life. It will help your business and your career. Generally, it will affect your perspective about life. So this information are very valuable. They are so valuable. That's why I'm bringing them to you, so it can help transform your whole life forever. And I've been on a topic, the foundation for wealth and success. And one of the first foundation for wealth and success is sacrifice. And under that sacrifice, so far I've thought about four lessons we need to learn, four sacrifices we need to put in place before we'll become wealthy and successful. There are about 10 of them, but I will first of all recap in case you've not gotten or you've not listened to our previous message. Now, the under sacrifice, the foundation for wealth and success. There are things in life that if you don't really take charge of, if you don't really know, it will affect your life on a long term. So you can't build a house without foundation. You can't erect a building without not just a foundation, without a strong foundation. So that's why I'm so emphatical about you gaining a strong foundation. So whatever you build on it, it will surely stand. Whatsoever thing you've decided to build on it, is it a world-class hotel, a world-class business company or industry, with respect to the building or with respect to your vision and your passion, whatever you build on this, the foundations for wealth and success, it will surely stand, and it will stand the test of time. Now, before I start, one of the trees that takes longer time to grow, I think, is the bamboo tree. It takes longer time to grow. It takes about 7 to 8 years. It still remains on that level. So in the 9th year, it just becomes very tall. What was it doing that time? What was happening? This bamboo tree was developing roots downward. You understand? You can see other trees that has been planted together with it. It's just growing, but that bamboo tree remains at a particular level. When you plant it, you will not even see it. Then after 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, as it's going to the 9th year, it will just skyrocket, and it will grow more than any other tree. It's one of the longest tree in the world, but it takes number of years to grow. So that's one thing in life. You must build a foundation, a very strong foundation. Your roots must be deep, very deep. You understand? So you can be able to go far in life. So I've been discussing on sacrifice, and I've taught us Four lessons under sacrifice. Some of the things you need to sacrifice as the foundation for wealth and success is that you must sacrifice friendship with poor minds. You must sacrifice spending too much time on social media and TV. You can go back to our previous message. Very powerful things I shared there that will transform your life. The third lesson is that you must sacrifice too much sleep. The fourth one is you must sacrifice the blame game. Very powerful lessons I shared there, very powerful secrets I shared there. Look for that message and listen to it again and again. Then the fifth one that we'll be doing today is that you must sacrifice the fear of losing. That's the fifth lesson for today. I say it again. You must sacrifice what? The fear for losing. So many of us are afraid of so many things in life. So many of us are afraid of what the future holds for us. So many of us are afraid of maybe us losing a family member, or maybe us losing a particular job, or losing a whole lot of things in our life. So I want to address this issue, the fear of losing. I say it again, the fear of losing. Now, I will just ask you a question. What are you afraid of? What are you really afraid of in life? What are you really afraid of? Let your mind go wide. Have you been afraid of that has been keeping you where you are? Is it the fear of death, or the fear of losing a particular job, or the fear of not getting employed, or the fear of losing your relationship with your fiance, or your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, or whatever relationship you have with people? What are you really afraid of? What have you built your life around that you can't really let go? Had it mean something now happened? What? But first of all, I just want you to understand what fear means. So many people has this definition for fear: false emotion appearing real. False emotion, the F there is false emotions appearing real. So if you ask generally, everybody knows that fear is an emotion, and emotions are being there as a result of our thinking, our thoughts. You understand? It's when you start thinking wrong, it manifests. It gives you an emotion that is either positive or negatively. Your thoughts creates your life, so it creates the emotions you're having. Now, for an example, I'm just sitting down here and I now started imagining how my life will be in 10 years from now, and I see myself taking the first class flights around the world. I see myself building the best houses in the world. I see myself cutting big time deals with businessmen and women all over the world. Now, how will I feel? What will my emotion be? I'll be very excited. I'll be very happy. I'll be very eager to do things. You understand? Remember, it's my thoughts that is communicating my emotions, that is displaying my emotion. Now, let's check the second scenario. Had it mean I'm sitting down here and I'm thinking, things are not going to work, and how things are impossible in this our current generation, how it is hard to do things, how it is hard to get a job, how it is hard to start up your own business, how it is hard to train your children in school, how it is hard to get money. What do you think the emotions will be? Definitely it will be sad. You won't be able to express yourself very well. You'll be down. If you compare these two scenarios now, you will see that one is empowering and one is disempowering. You understand? So it's our thoughts that reflects our emotions. So we need to start from the way we are thinking. So that's why I'm asking you these questions now. What are you really afraid of? What have you been assuming in your mind that is creating the emotions? Now, let me tell you how it works. When you think, your thinking, your thoughts determines your emotions, the way you react. Your emotion now determines your attitudes, the way you now start behaving, the way you now start doing things, and your attitudes determines the actions you will take. If you are thinking disempowering thoughts, it will bring about a disempowering emotions, and that emotions will bring about a disempowering attitude, and that attitude will bring about a disempowering action, and that action will bring about a disempowering result. That's how you see, that's the trend there. You understand? Your emotion, your thoughts produces your emotions, your emotion produces the attitudes, your attitude produces the action produces the results. Now let's look at it the other way around. If you have the right thoughts, an empowering thought produces an empowering emotions, which will give you an empowering attitude that will also give you an empowering action. You see yourself take positive actions, and you will see a tremendous result, an empowering result that will change your life. That is how life is basically. Now, as we are looking at the fifth lesson, you must sacrifice the fear of losing. So many of us are afraid of so many things in life. We are afraid of losing someone we love. We are afraid of not getting what we want. We are afraid of what the future will hold. We are afraid of what the country will bring. We are afraid of not having enough money. We are afraid of our inability to complete a particular deal. We are afraid of a whole lot of things. Now, fear in the English dictionary is this: an unpleasant emotion caused by the threats of danger, pain, and harm. I say it again, the definition of fear in the Oxford Dictionary, it is what? It is an unpleasant emotions caused by the threats of danger, pains, and harm. You understand? So many people feel so threatened that, you understand, if you what I said earlier is the foundation of what I will be discussing throughout this teaching, and I will repeat it again. So it's going to be the foundation. See, this information, this valuable information will transform your whole life. When you are able to catch what I'm saying now, it will change your whole life forever. It is your thoughts, your thinking. We have two choices. Is it that we think empowering thoughts, or we think disempowering thoughts? So it is your thinking, your thoughts, that will bring about the manifestation of the emotions you have. It will bring about your feelings, the way you are feeling. So the way you are feeling every moment, the way you are feeling every day of your life, is as a result of the way you are thinking. So if you're feeling bad, you are thinking disempowering thoughts, so it's bringing about the emotions that are down, that will disempower you. So this is the trend. Your thought produces your emotions, your feelings. Then your feelings produces your attitudes, the way you now start behaving, the way you now start looking at life, the way you now start responding to situations, the way you now start responding to opportunities, the way you now start responding to people. So your attitudes now brings about the actions you're now taking. So that action now will now produce a corresponding result in your life. So this is the foundation of this teaching today. So if you understand this threat, you will be able to be a happy man and a happy woman for life, a happy father, a happy mother, a happy child, a happy businessman, a happy student, a happy lecturer, a happy president. Whoever you are, whichever sphere you are occupying, you will be the most exciting person, you understand, on earth. So that's why I'm very excited to bring to you this level of information that will transform your whole life forever. Since we've understood the acronym for fear, which I think many people resonates with fear. I said fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by threats of what? Danger. Maybe you sense danger, or threats of pain, or threats of harm. You understand? So these are the things that triggers fear. Now I'm asking you a question. What are you afraid of? And why are you afraid? Now, I'm going to be answering these questions as we tend to go down. How can we avoid fear? How can we overcome fear? And what should I do to overcome fear? So we've understood the basics of what brings about fear. We've understood this. See, this information has transformed my whole life forever. Tony Robbins taught me something. He said, is either we are thinking two thoughts, empowering thoughts or disempowering thoughts. And for us, when we are thinking a disempowering thoughts, there is a way we need to do. Two things we need to do is either we change our physiology, the way we are acting, and or we change our focus. I'm going to give you the strategies to help you overcome fear. But first of all, I want you to sit down with your pen and your writing materials or whatever thing you're having, your notepad or anything at all, to focus. Sit down so you'll be free for life. This fear of losing that we normally have will not empower us to become wealthy and successful in life. You understand? So we must sacrifice our fear for losing. You understand? Now, one of the greatest fear people have is the fear of death, the fear of losing someone in their life. I'm going to be explaining quite a lot, but I want to tell you one of my favorite quotes by Norman Cousin. He said that death is not the greatest loss in life. Hope you're writing. He said, death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what lies inside us while we live. Did you get? The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we live. You know, so many people are just afraid of life. They're afraid of so many things. They're afraid of losing a particular relationship. They're afraid of losing a particular person in their family. Why? Those things will never happen. Some of them will happen, but they will not be happening the instant the way they are seeing it. They are just assuming. Norman Cousin was saying something. He said, death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we live. A whole lot of us are so scared that we allow a lot of our dreams to die in us, inside us. You understand? While we live, we fail to take action. We fail to do those things that we are supposed to do to empower us. Because of why? We are having disempowering thoughts that will disempower us, and we will just allow those dreams, those visions in us to just die. You understand? So that's the worst thing that can ever happen to any man or any woman. I know we all have dreams, we all have ambitions, we all have what we are chasing in life, we all have so many big dreams to impact the world. But you know, when fear creeps into your life, as time goes on, you tend to allow those dreams and visions you have inside of you to just die off. And this is the worst thing that can ever happen to any person. So Norman Cousin was saying something. He said the greatest loss is what dies inside you while we live. You see a whole lot of persons walking on the road. All those persons, a whole lot of persons, they have a whole lot of dreams they want to achieve, but what happened to them? They allow those dreams to die inside of them. Why? Because of they are either afraid of something, some of the limitations they have put in their head and in their mind that has not empowered them. You understand? So they just allow those things to just die off. Now we have different things that we are afraid of losing. So many of us in our family, in our jobs, staying in a job that we don't like. You understand? We are so afraid to leave that job and pursue our dreams. You understand? So we worry about losing a whole lot of things. We worry about losing family, we worry about losing the love of someone, we worry about losing our friendship with someone. Particularly, these are the little things that so many of us worry about. We worry about finances, money. We worry about when we grow old. We fail to focus on the present, on the now. What is really happening to your life? What are the chances you are to take now that will help improve your life so you can become better, you can become the best of yourself? So we must do away with the fear of losing. Basically, what people are afraid of is the fear of death and the fear of losing a relationship that is so dear to them, and the fear of losing their money. You understand? You see a whole lot of persons accumulate a whole lot of wealth, and another fear will come in. What of if I lose that money? People are so afraid to lose their money than to even earn a whole lot of money. You understand? So this fear creeps into our life. See, I bring you good news today because there is a way you can overcome this fear, and just that's my aim in this lesson 5, to teach you how you must overcome the fear of losing. We must try our best, because once you start thinking empowering thoughts, that's the foundation for this message. I explained it. You understand? Our thinking produces our emotions, our feelings, the way we feel. Then the way we feel now produces our attitudes, the way we behave, and it will now produces the actions we take. And those actions we take will now produce the results in our life. This is, if you understand this, I know why I'm repeating it like this. If you understand these basics, your whole life will change together. Now you will now tell yourself, the starting, which thoughts am I thinking? What am I assuming? You understand? What am I assuming? Is it true? Is it going to happen? Or is just me trying to imagine what is not there? Now, I want you to get this. There are systems for overcoming fear. But the foundation for it is you must understand the sequence of overcoming fear. If you can get this sequence I've been reiterating, I've been repeating over and over again, your whole life will change. It starts from your thoughts, your thought pattern. What are you thinking? What are you assuming? Have you questioned what you are assuming? Is it true? You know, some of us, we assume a whole lot about the next person. Maybe we are in a relationship with, or our wife, our husband, or our colleague, or our business associates, anybody at all, or the same person in ministry with us. We assume a lot, and we fail to question those of our assumption, those things that we are thinking in our head. And when we assume all those things, two things will either happen. Is either you start feeling bad, which are as a product of disempowering thoughts, or you start feeling excited, which are the product of what? Empowering thoughts. This is a foundation for everybody. You understand? So there are systems. I've brought out 3 major systems that can help you overcome the fear of losing, or fear, whatsoever type of fear you have in your life. Listen very well. It will help you to overcome whatsoever fear at all you have in your life. This system that I'm about to share with you, I want you to listen attentively. Very powerful system. Very, very powerful system. It is very simple, but it is very powerful. Number 1, which I've mentioned earlier, I started mentioning it, I started hitting on it, is for you to understand the sequence that produces the fear. I say it again. Understand the pattern that produces that fear. You've been having a particular fear in your life, maybe a particular area in your life, maybe a fear in finances, that maybe you might not have enough money to get married, or to take care of your family, or to do a particular business, or you cannot get a job, or you cannot create a job for yourself, or you cannot do this, you cannot build that company you want to build, or you cannot start up that business. Who told you you can't do those things? Who told you that those things are not possible? You know why you're having those thoughts? It's because you've been thinking wrong. Your thought pattern has been negatively structured, and that's the thing that is bringing the wrong emotion, those disempowering emotions, that is making you not to achieve what you want to achieve in life. For you to be wealthy and successful, you must do away with the fear of losing. So the first system is for you to ask yourself, What am I afraid of losing? Is the thinking, your thoughts, your thought pattern. Now you're asking yourself, what am I afraid of losing? What? Now, when you start asking yourself those questions, now a whole lot of things will be popping into your mind, will be popping into your conscious. You understand? From your subconscious, it will be pumping out. Am I afraid of losing this relationship, or am I afraid of losing my companion with this person? Am I afraid of losing this business? Am I afraid of not getting a job? Am I afraid of not being in good terms with my father? Am I afraid of not getting this business? Am I afraid of not traveling out? Am I afraid that, oh, what might happen if I don't travel out, if I don't do this? These are questions that will be coming out when you first of all ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What am I scared of? You understand? Now, let me share with you. I'm still in number one system that will help you overcome fear. It's for you to be aware first what you are afraid of. You understand? Now, let me share with you something from El Nightingale. El Nightingale said something that 80% of the things that we are afraid of will never happen. 10% has already happened, and 10% will happen. But you see so many of us focusing on 80% of things that will never happen. Why? Because they are assuming that, what about this thing, if this thing happens now, something that will not happen. And those thoughts are bringing disempowering emotions, and are bringing those emotions I'm talking about are the fear. Is it that you are excited or you are afraid? You understand? So 80% of people are thinking about what will even not happen. They are afraid of what will never happen. You understand? There are 80% of the things you think will never happen. 10% has already happened, and another 10% will happen. So why not focus your time on just that little 10% that will happen, and become the best you can be of yourself, and develop yourself to be able to withstand those pressures that comes with that remaining 10%. Why are you focusing on so many things, and so many thoughts are coming into your head, and it's disempowering you? These are the things that make people lose their drive in life. These are the things that make people lose their passion in life, what they are pursuing. Because of what? They are thinking disempowering thoughts. Those things that will not even happen at all. 80% of it, they are dwelling on it. Now, these are the things that successful men and women try to avoid. What they do is, that's the second system I will teach you. You ask yourself, what am I scared of? And always know this: 80% of the things that you are afraid of will never happen. 10% has already happened, and 10% will happen. So why emphasize on those things that has not happened, or those things that will never happen? It's because of our thoughts. We've been wired to think negatively. Everything around us has wired us to think negatively in life. This is a very powerful information that will transform your whole life forever if you pay attention to it. If this message is resonating with you, I want you to reach out to me at my Gmail, henryobikwere98@gmail.com. Send me a message. Tell me how it has impacted you, and I will be so happy to hear from you. Now, I'm going to the second system. The second system for you to overcome fear is this. Listen very well. The second system for you to overcome fear is this. Ascertain if you are seeing the whole picture of what you are afraid of. See, this information has transformed my whole life, and that's why I'm so passionate about sharing with you. Now, under this second system to overcome fear in your life, maybe the fear of losing whatsoever thing at all, it first starts with your thoughts, your thinking. Now, under the second system, I want you to do two things. Number one, I want you to focus on the empowering thoughts about that thing. Now, so many of us that are afraid of us losing a particular person, ask yourself, what about this person lives in the next 40, 50 years? You understand? Most of us are afraid of losing a relationship. Ask yourself, what about if this relationship lasts longer than it would last? Ask yourself, it's about two things. This second system, it's for you to focus on the empowering thoughts. Don't focus on disempowering thoughts, those things that you are assuming that will happen. No, focus on those things that will empower you. Focus on those things that will what empower you. Focus on the right thoughts. What about I get this job? What about I start creating my own job? What about this relationship lasts longer? What about if I'm just assuming the wrong things about my wife, or I'm just assuming the wrong thing about my friend? What about if this is not what my friend is thinking? You understand? What about if this person really loves me? What about if I've been thinking the wrong thing? Focus on those empowering thoughts, those things that will change your emotions, your feelings. Try to see life differently and evaluate things what differently. Are you getting? I've taught you two systems. Some of the triggers, some of the things that triggers our fear is that some of us, we are afraid of a specific situations. Maybe you will see us, maybe we are preparing for an interview, you will just see so many of us so agitated. No, it's because of what you are thinking. You are thinking that you might just go there, and while you're presenting you will just fall, or people will be looking at you. No, start thinking empowering thoughts. What about if I go there and become the best? What about if I go there and stand out in what I'm doing? What about if so many of us, because of our disempowering thoughts, we've closed so many of our visions. So many of us want to write books, so many of us want to sing songs, so many of us want to start up a business, so many of us want to become a public speaker, so many of us want to do a whole lot of things, but because of our disempowering thoughts, we've left all those things. This is the time whereby you will now start to change those of your thoughts, those things that you've been thinking. Start empowering yourself. So many of us are afraid of heights. Have you really thought about why you are scared of heights? It's because you think that if you go up and if you fall from there, you will just lose your life. No, these are the thoughts that are controlling us. So many of us are afraid of snakes. They're afraid of some animals. You understand? So many of us are afraid of future events. So many of us are afraid of unknown. You just see, because of what is happening around, you just see people afraid. Now is the time for you to change focus. Start with empowering thoughts. What can I do to become better? What about the way I'm seeing these things now? Is it really happening? One of the things successful people have learned to do as a skill is that they've learned to sacrifice the fear of losing. They are ready to take the risk all the way. Two things will happen. Is it that you become better even if you lose and learn your lesson? You understand? Or you become stronger, or you learn a better way of not doing that thing again. Things happens, but we must learn to communicate it in a better perspective. We must learn to interpret it differently. The third system of overcoming fear is this: take action. Take action. What are you afraid of? Maybe you can't start up that your musical career. Take action. Maybe you can't start about that your talk show. Take action. Just start doing it. Face the fear. Face your fear. Just face it. Whatever you think that you can't do, is it that you can't raise money? Start up something. Whatever you think that you can't accomplish, just start it. Make that call you're supposed to make. Call that person you're supposed to call. Start writing something. Start putting something down. You understand? Just take action. This is a system that wealthy and successful people, they've learned to do it. It's just part of their life, and it has been working for me. Where this, the level I am now, the stage I am now, it's just at the peak, and I know that I've not gotten to where I'm going, and I'm making progress, significant progress in my life. Take action. As I summarize, I've taught you 5 lessons so far of sacrifice. Number one, you must sacrifice your friendship with poor minds. You must sacrifice spending too much time on social media and TV. You must sacrifice too much sleep. You must sacrifice the blame game. And the fifth one, which I have just finished discussing, is that you must sacrifice the fear of losing. I believe this message has transformed your whole life forever. Take action. My name is Dr. Obikwere Henry, and you can reach out to me at my Gmail at henryobikwere98 at gmail.com. Obikwere is spelled Obikwere. So you can reach out to me. Tell me about how you've taken action with respect to the message you've listened, and how your life has been transformed totally. Remember this: it is the simple things in our life that create tremendous results as we continue to practice it daily. Don't just listen to this message, listen to all the lessons, lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over and over again, and take action. Just remember this: I love you so much. That's why I'm sharing this with you. That's why I'm sharing this secret with you, so you can start from where you are, like be in a process of achieving whatever thing you want to achieve in life. You can achieve, you can be whatever you want to be. Take action. Thank you for your time. I love you so much. I'm Dr. Obikwere Henry. I'm signing out. Love you.